Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Monica. I'm a tarot reader and astrologer based in North Queensland in Australia, and today I'm doing a tarot review. So this is a review. It's going to be a fairly brief one. The tarot deck in question, these are the card backs right here that you can see. It's called Tarot Manouche and it is a French publication. And it is a major arcana only deck. And so because it's only major arcana and because it's, it's a fairly rare find, this little deck, I'm going to have a little chat to you about the deck as I go through the cards. Okay, first of all, allow me to present the box that it comes in. And here it is. So as you can see, it is in French, and that does apply to the guidebook. Okay, all of the guidebook is in French, as well as the 2 extra cards that usually come with a tarot deck. They're all in French as well. All I can say about the deck that I know is that it is created by an artist by the name of Sandra Jayat, and from what I've read, it was created in 2002 or published in 2002. But I can't find the information as to its publication date anywhere within this deck. I can't find it on the box anywhere, and I can't find it in the little white booklet. I mean, it's all in French anyhow, so it does have the information to contact the publisher. Okay, so it's right here if any of you are interested. You can find this deck for sale, often secondhand online, but it is fairly pricey because it is out of print and it's really not that easy to find or to come across it. Okay, now I'm not usually a fan of majors only decks. I prefer the full 78 family together when I do a reading, but now and then I'll come across a deck like this one that makes me just really gathers my interest, and I also really love the art within it. So let's have a look at some of the cards. Okay, now thankfully we have both the French title at the bottom and the English name at the top, although as you will see as I go through the cards, the English name or some of the cards are actually renamed in English. Okay, so the Fool, and straight away when I saw the artwork, there was something about it that I don't know, I really I absolutely love this little deck. Excuse me, I'm just trying to enjoy some tea while actually recording. I'm not being rude, but I like I like my tea to go along with my tarot work. So what I've been able to find out is, well, first of all, there isn't that much on the deck itself. There are a couple, like 2 or 3 other YouTube videos out there. I think at least one of them is in French from memory. I can't remember, it was a while back when I actually watched them. But essentially there's not a whole lot of information on it. So you see the Magician is renamed the Questioner, and I really like that. I absolutely love that. And the High Priestess is renamed the Wise Woman, which I think is fairly apt. And I love everything in this card about the High Priestess. The flowers, you know, the moon, the night sky, even these horses at the bottom. I just think it's really beautifully done. So yes, you won't find a whole lot of information in terms of YouTube videos on reviews for this deck. So here we have the Empress, renamed the Protectress, which is quite an interesting renaming of the Empress card. Okay. And the Emperor is called the Support. And I absolutely love that. I love that she is the protection element, and that the Emperor is the support, you know, in terms of like supporting her. Okay. supporting her work or her vision and what needs protecting. I think, I don't know, that's how I see that. Some people might disagree with that, and that's fine. You know, tarot's incredibly subjective after all. So you will find some information about the artist Sandra Jayat. And what I've been able to find so far is that she is of Gypsy Romani descent. This is from Italian gypsies, but her family moved to France to escape some of the persecution that was happening in Italy towards Romanis. But then I think, from what I understand, they moved back to Italy. However, she left and moved to France herself when she was, I think, a teenager, like 15 or perhaps a little bit older, something along that, very, very young, basically. And there she got into painting, and she's a very accomplished painter. I don't think, obviously I don't live in France, so I don't know how well known she is there, but it sounds like she had reasonable success as a painter and was able to display her works in art galleries. And she was also a novelist and a musician. Okay, she's even published some music or recorded some music. Okay. Gosh, I love this chariot. I can't even tell you how much I love it. I mean, if I had to make a comment about this deck, what really bothers me about this deck is that it's not a full 78 card tarot deck. Number one, and number two, I think these borders are too large. Personally, I would have liked the image to be a bit bigger and the border a little bit narrower. Okay, those are my only two comments or critiques, if you like, of this tarot deck. Okay, I would love to see a full 78 card deck of Tarot Manouche. However, Sandra was born in either 1939 or 1940. I don't think there's a set date regarding her birth, like a confirmed date. And so she is, she's still alive, as you know, the last time that I checked, you know, the online entries, like Wikipedia and something like that, you know, she is still alive as far as I can tell from those sources. However, as you can tell, 1939 or 1940 is quite a long time ago, and she is in her crone years, and I'm not sure whether, you know, she'll have the interest, the energy, or, you know, if it's something that should be interested in pursuing to create a full 78 card deck. Like, that's quite an undertaking, you know, beyond this major arcana. So I'm prepared to accept, rather unhappily, that this deck might very well stay at 22 majors, and that will be that. And in that case, I will be using them for specific purposes only. Like, I wouldn't be doing full readings with a 22 card deck, but they might come in handy for set, you know, like personal readings where just like a one major arcana card is called for. Okay, so the aged man. Although I think in French this would be the spiritual elder, which I prefer that to the aged man, because it accords the hermit that element of wisdom, which is so much a part of the hermit. But anyhow, that's how it is. Wheel of Fortune. The Strength card. This is interesting. I am not entirely sure what's happening in this card. So I shall have to try and interpret the French. I'm not very good at French. I can understand it, but it's purely because my native language is Romanian, which is fairly close to French, and I did a little bit of French when I was younger. So, excuse me. So yeah, I might try and get some understanding into this card. Prudence. It's, you know, pretty interesting card for the Hanged Man. Okay, to prudence. Not a word that I would associate with the hangman. So there is an element of variation within her interpretation of the cards, and I don't critique that. Like, I don't think it's inappropriate in this context at all. Then we've got death, temperance, the devil, the tower. I think that's such a beautiful tower. You know, if you're into this particular type of art, I'm not sure what style or what name you'd give this particular type of art, but I think it's just a gorgeous deck. And, you know, part of that is because it was published long before the whole craze of AI that is now tainting the art world, in particular deck creators, and not in a good way. The moon, it's just gorgeous. Yeah, I'd love to spend some time and give this deck a little bit of love and justice that it deserves, and work with it sort of one card at a time. The sun, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just so beautiful. So beautiful. Judgment. And that's quite interesting. You know, it's a gypsy playing the violin, which they are very accomplished and in parts of the world quite famous for. And finally, the universe. So, what do you think? I love to find out-of-print little treasures like these. You know, they're not very well known, but nonetheless they're absolutely beautiful, and they hold a magic and a particular charm to their energy and the artwork within. So that's it. That concludes my, I guess, my walkthrough of the Tarot Manouche, and be interested to see if anybody out there, you know, concurs with me in terms of finding this deck a little bit of a treasure, and wishing and hoping beyond hope that a 78 card major arcana might one day manifest to include, you know, these 22 majors, and for that to be expanded into the full 78 card. But, you know, if not, that's okay. I'm happy to work with it as it is, and perhaps I might do a reading with it once I am back home in the Whitsundays and I've got the time to explore it a little bit more in depth, one card at a time, and share that with you when I have the time, which is probably, you know, 3 months away now. But anyhow, that concludes my video for today, and I really hope you found this an enjoyable walkthrough and an interesting one. And as always, thank you so much for watching my channel and for being here and supporting me. It does mean a lot to me. And until my next video, take care.